Hey friends, welcome to this week's ramblings. Hope you're all well and enjoying the last month of winter. Since it's a new year, since it's been a new year for more than a month already, like everyone else, I was conditioned since forever to think about New Year's goals. But before figuring out new ones, I wanted to, of course, look back on last year's goals and what I did or didn't achieve. So, let's look through everything and just be sad together. Before I start though, please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment and do everything possible to please the algorithm gods so I can get on someone else's recommended page. Now, probably the most important goal for me was to get a tattoo apprenticeship. By now many of you already know that this is a lifelong goal for me and something I've been always dreaming about. So this feels like one of the biggest failures of my life to this date. I still wish to become a tattoo artist, but I am more than unsure as to how this could ever happen in this city or, even in this country. It was so painful and embarrassing to plead to so many people, almost begging for a chance, knowing that I am good enough and just to be refused. Just to be refused and then have someone else, someone younger, someone local, someone prettier get an apprenticeship at the same places I was refused at. Just, a month or two later. It's really tiring and frustrating. So for the time being, I think I'm taking a break from trying, but I'm not giving up. Instead, I will keep focusing on improving my skills up to the point where it will become embarrassing for anyone to refuse me. A second big goal for me was to get more recognition online and to improve my social media presence. At the beginning of the year, I was aiming at reaching 10,000 followers on Instagram and Facebook. Unfortunately, I barely reached 2,000 followers on Facebook, and Instagram is even worse. Barely reached 1,400 followers there. Thankfully, I also started posting on TikTok and managed to get 2,000 people following me there, so that thankfully also brought me some sales. But it is such a frustrating experience trying to grow a decent following on social media. I know all of the social medias are just products, and in order to use a product, you need to pay for it. But I did that too, and again and again and again, but here's the problem. Paying for these products brings almost no benefit for a small business. That means paying for ads because they reach close to no one recently. The prices to reach a larger audience are exorbitant at the moment, so I get no followers, no customer, and I just waste money on small ads. Then another thing was that I also tried my hand at one of my favorite things. So I tried narrating and illustrating horror stories. This was a full year of intense work and it turned out to be a huge failure. After countless hours put into finding stories, coming up with a concept for the art and creating it, recording and editing the video and audio, I only managed to gather somewhere around 80 subscribers on this channel. I was so sure of myself that I could at least reach a few hundred subscribers, if not the necessary 1,000 to join the partnership program. So, you see, this is why I decided to change the trajectory of this channel. Hopefully, my ramblings will attract more people than a well-written piece of literature. Wouldn't that be ironic, though? Another incredibly annoying unreached goal was, of course, the one of financial gain. There were two items on this list I didn't yet figure out: my Patreon and my Etsy shop. Frustratingly enough, my Patreon was requested by several people and yet they vanished as soon as I created it. It may not seem like much, but taking the time to create yet another page is exhausting. Not only because I am using time which I could have used to make art, but because I get false hope. That false hope is absolutely painful to go through time and time again. Still though, thankfully, there are a couple of people who are kind enough to actually support me on there and on other platforms as well. To those people I am incredibly grateful, as they're the ones who keep me going. Right now I'm standing at 3 patrons, but I hope that by now I would have reached at least 10. So the second part of my financial thingy was to have constant sales in my Etsy shop, and that included the summer months, which, that was rough. I knew and was somewhat prepared for summer to be slow, but not completely dead. I hoped to overall have a small but steady income of maybe $200 per month. So that means I would have had to sell somewhere between 10 and 15 prints each month, which really isn't that much. But it still didn't happen. Thankfully, I have been able to attend some art fairs, which helped out a bit and was able to cover some of the costs for printing new items. But even that didn't help me reach my goal. Moving from the sad economical crisis part of the reality to more art-oriented goals, let's see what I did with that coloring book that I kept talking about, wanting to create. Yeah, the one with the spooky ladies and creepy critters. Well, it obviously didn't happen. Well, not yet at least. I still hope to be able to create and publish it. Hopefully this year. For this project, I will probably need to venture out to another kind of platform, maybe Kickstarter or something similar. Otherwise, I really don't see any way through which I could be able to finance this on my own. Yeah, we'll see what will happen with that. Hopefully I will reach my target audience. A second item that I hoped to be able to include in my shop were custom enamel pins. In the past I have worked with Siren Society and created 3 types of pins which turned out amazing and were successful. I hope we'll get a chance to collaborate in the future and create more amazing pieces. But as I said, I also wanted to do some on my own. I have some designs which I think would look absolutely stunning as pins and would be successful. But I can't really afford the initial investment. I'll be thinking of crowdfunding this type of project as well. Maybe come up with several designs and have them as a set. Maybe that would be more enticing for people. We'll see. Now, the last product I wanted to create and sell are hand-printed items. That means I needed to learn lino cut and screen printing. I really dreamt of being able to make my own t-shirts, tote bags, maybe even tea towels. I mean, come on, imagine decorating your house with all the spooky goodness I can create. That would be such a dream. Well, of course, what stopped me again was the initial investment. But maybe in time I will get there. So, since last year so much went wrong, I will just try to set up some more realistic goals for this year. Will I reach them? Will I surpass them? Well, no one knows. That's a problem for future me to deal with. Now, starting with my social media reach, let's see what I can hope for this year. I hope for my Instagram following to at least double in size by the end of the year, so that would mean for me to reach maybe 3,000 followers. I don't think that's too much to ask, right? And of course, together with it, I would also like my Facebook to grow at least just as much, if not more. Now, TikTok. Well, this is where most of my hope is when it comes to social media. If I manage to reach 10,000 followers by the end of this year, then I could at least feel like I'm doing something right. And it would probably also mean that one of my videos somehow managed to become viral. It's a very, very slim chance. I don't count on it. I will still put in the work, but I can just hope that maybe once, just once, I'll get a break. And I guess the last important platform would be YouTube. Well, I still want to reach the 1000 subscribers threshold and also be able to maintain a regular posting schedule and share a video each week. But as you've probably noticed, I am already starting to fail this goal since I wasn't really able to post last week. But yeah, anyway, I do want to incorporate some new things in my videos. Besides me rambling, I want to try new things such as a new medium or a new art style, maybe some DIYs if I feel adventurous. Now, actually getting back to the goals of last year, to some of the ones that I failed, there are some that I really want to finish. There is one that I really want to finish, and that is the coloring book. I worked a lot on the illustrations created so far, and I am still inspired to create more. So I really hope to eventually put everything together and get the funding necessary to make it a reality. I also have some new art projects already planned. I intend to create a set of 12 illustrations representing the zodiac signs. Of course, I would make it creepy, and if things actually go well this year, then I would be more than happy if I could turn this into a calendar. That would be extremely exciting. I do still also have 3 tall canvases on which I intend to paint some more of my demons, which were a series of paintings which were really well received. So I have already figured out the ideas and I can't wait to have the proper time and space to get to creating them. There's also a couple of projects which I've started earlier last year and never gotten around to finishing them. But I do really hope and I will really try my best to manage my time and focus more on these kind of projects. These are my passion projects and I really hope to finish them. Now, when it comes to improving myself and my skills, to be more exact, I'm going to try to expand my portfolio with more styles of art. So as I said before, I want to try to better myself when it comes to acrylic painting. Maybe, who knows, even try some oil painting. And as soon as I'll be able to afford a new drawing tablet, I want to immediately start working on some digital art. I want to dive more into photo manipulation, logo and album cover artwork creation, and if I have the balls to do it, I'll maybe even contact a few bands with some proposals. I do have a few more goals written down, but for now I'll keep those to myself. I want to at least start working on the ones already mentioned and see that things are lining up before I venture and overwork myself for another year. In more personal news, I will be moving houses in the near future, so I'm incredibly stressed but excited for this new chapter. And I'm mentioning this only because it means that I will be able to actually have a bigger, better workspace, so I know that I'll be more inspired and focused to create. And I will also be able to have a better recording area and I will film more and in a different way. That means that you guys will get to see me and a better look at the process of creation. So I'm excited and really looking forward to that. Now with this move also comes probably the biggest and most exciting thing I'll be doing the whole year, which is furnishing and decorating a house. While doing this, I also intend to make a TikTok series on this whole journey, so you'll be able to follow up with me and check out how this new cute and basic house will turn into my gothic fantasy home. You have no idea how incredibly excited I am for this. And that concludes my ramblings for today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment and subscribe for more. And if you're interested in purchasing the original artwork you just watched me create, don't hesitate to send me a message on any of my socials. That's all for today, and until next week, stay spooky.